The interns at the company asked in a court and said, "Hey, what's the difference between Apple and Spotify is in these lists, right?" And then the other intern said, "The poors can't manipulate it." Okay, relax, buddy. I guess we found the reincarnation of Ronald Reagan. Relax, brother. Anyway, so in the last few days, Apple has been revealing its most streamed songs of all time, all genres, the top 500 most streamed records. And, I'm just kind of going to talk about the top 10 here and talk about the hip hop, portion of this. But what I do find interesting, though, is that Apple usually, from what I know, a lot of third party stat websites for music and things like that. What they do is I think they like reverse the chords. So I don't know. I'm not a tech guy. And then they find out how many streams uh, a song will have on Spotify. Apple usually doesn't have that type of information, right? So websites like K-Warp and things like that. But anyway, as you can see, if you care about the numbers, because you should to a certain extent, numbers aren't the only thing they do tell a story. You can kind of see what the most streamed hip hop songs of all time are, and I'm actually pretty shocked that we have that many in the top 10, right? So you got Ed Sheeran, Shape of You, The Weeknd, Blinding Lights. Those are not hip hop. Then you got Drake, God's Plan, which that's pretty highly streamed on Spotify, so I get it. Then you got Post Malone here, Rockstar, and you guys know how Post Malone it's what it is. And then you've got Travis Scott's Sicko Mode. Technically, One Dance is more of Afro beats or whatever. So and then you got No Guidance, which is also more R&B, right? But you see the heavy Drake dominance here. Now, what I do want to point out as well is Lil Baby. Apparently, in that top 500 most streamed songs of all time, Lil Baby has 20 songs. Drake number one with 39, Taylor Swift with 14. So while we can commend Drake and Taylor Swift for the being in the top three spot, I'm incredibly shocked that Lil Baby is number two on this list. And this is what I mean. Numbers aren't the only thing they do tell a story. It's like, Lil Baby is the most streamed song. So what is that? Now, if you compare that to Spotify numbers, could we have conversations? But to the point earlier made, it's not that the poors can't manipulate Apple. Spotify does have free users. So I actually think it's more about the company. Well, actually, I think it's more about the company Spotify can't manipulate. And I don't mean that in a kind of like an evil way, just algorithms, right? So, free users, when you run out of skips based on whatever the algorithm thinks you will like to listen to, it'll recommend, right? So who's to say it won't recommend certain songs more than another? With Apple, you know that people are most certainly going in there, selecting the songs they want, and if they don't want to hear it because they're paying users, they can skip at any time. So yeah, there you have it. That was the top 10. I'm gonna just point out some more other like hip hop records that made the top 20 because I think that's kind of important, right? Here's some other songs that were in the top, I guess, 40 something of that list. So there's some typical hip hop songs that I expected to be here. The Box, Humble, Goosebumps. Very interesting that Goosebumps is that high. So you can see all the other hip hop. Nice for What, Drip Too Hard. No Role Models, shout out to Cole, shout out to EXO Tour Life. So you kind of get the point. You can look this up. Apple did us all a favor. Go look up the top 500. It's a good list. It's a good list to get an idea of what's going on the other platform because I feel like we get to see so much of Spotify numbers, but on Apple.